What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the How to Survival series, where today we are going to be making another farm, as I mentioned briefly in the last episode. So, last episode we worked on making the slime farm and then the collection system for it. And for that we're going to need a lot of shulker boxes, and currently I do not have that many. I have barely a row of shulker boxes in this chest and a few more in my ender chest here, but that is not going to cut it for the collection system that I have made. So to combat this issue, I have decided to get to work on a shulker farm, and I already have all the materials I'm going to need for it right here, so I can get working on it straight away. And there are two sides to this, so as you can kind of see here, the overworld signified by the grass and the nether side signified by the netherite. And the shulker heads are just to signify that it's a shulker farm, because I had some other stuff in here before while I was working on other stuff. But anyway, with these resources, I'm going to find a location where I will be building the farm, and then I'm going to get right to work, because I do want to get this farm built and then test it out. And then also I want to get to testing out the slime farm collection system, because without all these shulkers I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So as I said, I'm going to find a location to build this farm. Okay, so I've decided on a location, and it is not too far away from all my stuff. As you can see, the industrial district is just there. If we fly on over, you can see more of it load into view. But it is right here between the industrial district, and if you continue over this way, you can see the starter base here. And I haven't been here in quite a while. This was quite a poor starter base. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So yeah, it's kind of just off the industrial district, so we kind of keep a centralized farming area, because this farm can really go wherever. It's just going to go on top of this area here, so it's above the water, just in case the shulkers decide to teleport anywhere. Also, when you teleport a shulker through the end portal to get it to the overworld, it will spawn at world spawn, so being over close to the world spawn is also a plus. So if we just build up to about a white of 140, then I can start building the farm. And of course, as usual, I'm going to do that in the form of a time lapse.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it, getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, just start again. Oh, you won't see the...
Okay, so after a few hours of work, I have got the shulker farm up and running here, or not up and running, but built up anyways. I've built it up here in the overworld, and I've also done it in the nether. I didn't time lapse that part though, but it is there, so if I just hop through this portal, I can show you that. So here we are, and we got the player portal with the chunk loader down here, and then we have the shulker things up here. But now, for a shulker farm, we're going to need a shulker. And for a shulker, we're going to need to go to the end. And then we're going to have to bring it to the overworld. So, it's about to be fun. That's all I got to say. And it looks like I didn't spawn proof here. So I might just want to get some of my slabs out and chuck them on top of here like this. Then that should be spawn proof now. But yeah, I'm going to have to go to the end, find a relatively close by end city, and then either build a flying machine or just build a big track of rails to bring it back to the overworld. So I am not going to do that now, because it is quite late and I do want to go to sleep. But in the morning I will do that, and I will also try to do a test run in a creative world before I do it, just to make sure nothing will go wrong. So yeah, I'm gonna devise a plan to do that, and then we'll do that. Just a quick note before we continue, I'd like to mention that this farm was created by Ilmango, and he uploaded a video showing how to make it and explaining how it works. So if you want to know how to build or just how this farm works, go check out that video. A link to it is in the description below. Okay guys, so I'm here in the end, and I have a plan to bring the Shulker to the overworld. So what I'm going to do is build a flying machine over at the end city that is over at this waypoint here. And then that should go over to the main island and stop right at a marker I've put. So it's just basically an obsidian wall. So once I get there, then I'll be able to take it down to the portal and then put it through. But I'm just going to try to get it over there first things first. So all I got to do is make a flying machine, get the Shulker in a minecart, and then we'll be on our way. But yeah, I got to actually do that. That might be a bit tricky because the Shulker will shoot me and I don't want that happening or it teleporting. So I got some invisibility potions to help me out here. So hopefully I'll be able to do it. So let's get this Shulker into a minecart first things first. If I break this block and this block, I should be fine because there's no doorway here. Alright, there's the Shulker there. I'm going to drink my... Actually, I got to take my armor off. Then I drink my invisibility. And then if I just make a little opening in the roof here. And then I just put a bit of a netherrack track here. And then I get some redstone out. And then also some powered rails. I should be able to simply get this guy into a minecart here. So if I just put the redstone block here, say, that should all power. Then I put the minecart here, and there we go. The Shulker is inside the minecart. Perfect. Now I have to build the flying machine. So if I were to say drop the Shulker somewhere around here. So if the Shulker drops down here, we got to build the flying machine down there. And since I don't have my elytra on, this might be a bit harder than I thought. Oh god, and he has attacked me. That's no good. Alright, I'm gonna put my elytra back on just in case anything happens. And I have to get back down to that Shulker. Alright, here we go. That should be everything I need, I believe. I might get a couple of these as well. Now, if I just go down to here, let's say, this should be a decent height to build the flying machine. Now, I'm going to build that. I won't do that on camera, but I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Alright, here we go. I've got the flying machine built up. Not too hard, just a bit of honey. And I'm using honey because slime blocks tend to just push things and don't really grip onto it nicely. Like if I go along this honey, you can see I go kind of slowly. So that kind of works on like when you're going forward and backward as well, which is a good thing in terms of not falling into the void. So now all I got to do is continue the minecart track, drop the Shulker down there, and then put this glass over it. Then I'm also going to put a minecart on top of there for me to sit on, and then I'll send it off on our way by breaking this block here. So I'm going to first of all grab this stuff, and then I'm going to have to expand the track, and then once this guy's on this side, I will break this. Oh god. That's not good. Alright, I'm gonna have to get down and do it quickly. Alright, no. Alright, I'm about to fall, and there we go. Alright, I gotta break this. Alright, now he should be down in that hole. If I just put this here, now he shouldn't be able to see me. Since this is not a sticky piston, I can just get it back. And now if I just break all these temporary blocks I've got here, it shouldn't get in the way. And oh god, I broke a block I shouldn't have, but since there's too many blocks attached, it was fine. Alright, now all I gotta do is put my minecart up here. So I get a rail, minecart, break it, sit in it, and then break this block here. Actually, there's another temporary block here I gotta break. So I just break this block while I'm sitting in the minecart, and I should be all good to go. Apparently I can't reach that block. I might have to just do this and then get in it. There we go. Now, as you can see, me and the Shulker are on our way. I might just put my armor on just to be a bit more safe. And have rockets in hand just in case anything happens. But this should go all the way to the mainland island, and I should be stopped by an obsidian barrier. So let's see how that goes. Okay guys, so I'm just about here at the end. You see that obsidian platform, or wall rather. That is where I'm going to hopefully stop if I run into it. But I would just also like to mention before we reach that point that this design of flying machine, I got it from Doc M's video building the same shulker farm, and yeah, it is a pretty good one. Just sit here, the shulker sits there, and you go on your merry way. Anyway, just a few more seconds and I should be hitting that wall. It does look like I'll be hitting it, so that is good. I made it quite big because in my testing I did miss it, but this one I should hit it nice and perfectly. Alright, here we go, and we're just about to hit it. There we go. The flying machine has successfully stopped, and now the shulker is right by the main island. And you could probably tell I went a bit further than the island, and that is just because I want to build a staircase kind of getting up to this point so I could bring it down that way. I could have probably done it over there, but in my testing I did it here, so that way I just had all the right coordinates and I knew what I was doing. So now what I got to do is make a staircase coming all the way up here, line it with some rails, and then I can get it down there. But I also got to spawn proof the area around the portal, so when I try get it through, it will not cause any issues teleporting to any nearby blocks. So I'm going to do a bunch of prep work, and then I should be able to bring the shulker into the overworld. But for now, it's going to stay up here. Okay, so I believe I've got everything set up, and now there's an enderman after me. That's just great. So as I was saying, I believe I have everything set up. I got an area of buttons placed around this portal here. So once the shulker lands on this activator rail, it should get pushed out. Normally it will go sit on top of this button for a while, but then it will realize that, hey, this has a button on it, I can't be here. And the only place that it'll be able to teleport to is the bottom side of this piston. Then I will just activate it with this button, and it will get pushed over to world spawn. And then you will see once we go through there a bit later, that at world spawn we have a big platform at the same height that we need to push it into the farm at, and then just a straight track going to the farm. So this should be relatively easy, but you know, nothing ever goes right. But I have tested it a couple times in a creative world. So all I gotta do is go up here, and I'll just fly up there to make my job a little faster and easier. But then once I get up there, I'm going to drink my invisibility. Then I'm going to have to break that honey block that the shulker is standing on. So I'm going to bridge out here a bit, just so it doesn't hurt me or anything. And I'm going to have my elytra in the hotbar just in case. And the shulker's on top of here, so if I break that, there it goes, it's heading down. Now if we just go down as well, we should be able to see where it goes, and hopefully it will go to the right place. No enderman getting in the way, hopefully. I'll just watch it from up here so I don't get in the way. Alright, so it is good so far. Now this is the part that really needs to work. So it should go onto that block like I said, and since there is a button there, it should teleport to the bottom side of that piston if I placed all these buttons in the right places. Now let's just see if it goes to the right place. Yes, there we go. It has gone to the underside of the piston. Now I just need to head down there and press that button, and it will get teleported to the overworld. And there we go, button press. Now I'm going to put my armor back on. Actually, I didn't really need to put that on yet, but my spawn is set over at the end portal, so I just got to quickly get over to world spawn, and then we should hopefully see it on top of the platform I built. Alright, here we go, portal at world spawn, and as you can see it's kind of dark. So there is a platform above my head, and the shulker doesn't look like it's anywhere around here. So hopefully it did go to the right spot. Now I'm going to make sure I'm invisibilitied up again. So I'm going to quickly, I can't actually see the shulker, but there it is. I'm going to get a bit closer before I drink the invisibility, just so I don't have to walk too far without the elytra. Alright, here we go. Let's take the invisibility, take all the armor off, and then get some rails out. And we should be fine with all this. Actually, I'm going to need some powered blocks as well. So if I just, oh, looks like an Enderman wandered through as well. But if I just do some of this, and then power this, get a minecart, chuck it in there, and we are good to go. Now I just gotta complete this track. There we go. Once I place another powered rail there, that should extend the power, and it should go all the way to the farm. Now let's see if this works. This is kind of the tricky part, getting into the farm. Alright, once it goes to that side, I'm gonna break this. There we go. Alright, it is going to the farm. Perfect. Now I'm gonna have to get my armor back on, and I'll kind of just follow it behind just to make sure nothing happens. Alright, there we go. We have reached the farm, and hopefully it should have dropped down here, and hopefully it's just sitting in there. There it is, yeah. Now, once I trigger the farm on, it should get into position and produce some new ones. But before I turn it on, I'm going to have to remove some of these blocks that are close by the farm, just to make sure it doesn't teleport to the wrong places. But I am not sure if any of this is even in range, but just to be safe. Alrighty, so now with the shulker in up the top, and all those blocks removed, well, most of them up until there, I can actually go ahead and trigger the farm. So if I just place a lamp down here, this should tell me if it's on or off. So right now it is off. Then if I trigger this lever, it will push this redstone block back, turning this redstone lamp on to tell us it is on. Now let's do this, and then let's fly up quickly and see if this shulker gets put into place. So we should be able to see the shulker, and after a little while this should drop down, and it should be any minute now. I just heard something activate. Then once these comparators on the left turn off, there we go, should drop down and get into place, and there, it should be working. One of them teleported, and there's a new one there. Now I have to give it about 30 seconds before I do something here, but I gotta place a minecart there, put it into the nether, and then wait about another 30 seconds and do that again. That's just to basically get the backup shulkers in place, because that one can die down there and it can be a bit of bad news. So I reckon it's been about 30 seconds, so I can place this first one down. And then after about another 30 seconds, we place another one. Then we should be able to see a shulker come over here to the overworld and go down to where the other one was being held earlier on. Alright, that's probably been about 30 seconds. Let's chuck another minecart in. Let's see if it works. Oh, yep, there is the shulker. And it looks like it tried to fire at me, so let's just get out of the way just in case anything happens. But now the farm should be working. It's got a backup in there just in case anything happens. The chunk loader should be working. Let's just make sure that works. Should see a minecart come in and then go back. Yep, perfect. And then I can hear the shulker doing stuff up there. So if we head on over to the nether, we should see the stuff working and shulkers being collected actually. So we fly on up, hopefully not too closely. But yeah, there are some shulkers here. And oh, looks like I missed a spot for spawn proofing. I do have some buttons, so I can just chuck one there. Looks like I missed two spots here actually. That's totally on me. There we go. Those two spots. There we are. Those two spots should be perfectly good now, and I just gotta wait until this levitation dies off to see if the rest of it's working. But yeah, it looks like the rest of it is working, and yeah, shulkers are in there. Now I just gotta get a proper storage system working. So I'll go over back to the overworld, turn the farm off, just so I don't have any shulkers shooting their bullets at me. But then I will set up the storage system, and this farm should be working. Okay, so I've set up a bit of a collection system here, nothing too fancy. Just some hoppers pointing into a dropper here, then just an auto dispenser. That will then lead down into these hoppers, which just goes into a shulker box loader. So fitting that a shulker farm goes into a shulker loader. I might have to put a bit more storage for this here, because this, actually no, that'll be fine, because I can only put so many in here that will be able to fit in here. So yeah, that'll be fine. But I currently only have one empty shulker. I will sort out all the stuff I have over here, possibly put a few more in, then I'll give the farm a bit of a test run. So maybe for an hour or so, see how many items we get. And then we can go over this way and test out the monstrosity that is the slime farm. Alrighty guys, so I have been AFK right about here for about an hour and a half. And I have got quite a few shulkers, or shulker shells rather. So a full shulker box worth. Then if I just pop into spectator so I can actually open this shulker box, we have almost a full row again. But obviously we can't really use these because they are in the actual system. But we can most certainly use these, and that should hopefully be enough to fill up the slime farm. But of course, in order to make shulker boxes, you not only need the shells, but you also need wood. And that is what I'm about to go get now. So if we hop on over to the overworld, first of all we can turn off the farm for now. Actually, you know what? We can leave it on, because it works when a player is around and not around. It won't break regardless of where we are, because of the chunk loaders there. So we can just leave it running non-stop. But anyway, if we head on over to the industrial district, we can actually pick up some wood over here because of the nether tree farm. We should have plenty of wood here. And if I run it a bit more, we can get even more. But yeah, should be enough for what we need right now. Of course, if we needed, we could also boot up this tree farm over here. But I don't think it is necessary. Plus, this one uses a lot of bone meal. It doesn't replenish itself. But I do have a plan for that in the future. So stay tuned for that in a future episode. But anyway, let's get a shulker full of the logs here. And then we'll see how many shulker boxes we can make, and whether or not it will fill up the storage system over at the slime farm. Okay, so here we are over at this collection system for the slime farm. Now all we should have to do is plop down these shulkers and then just get to crafting. So if we get some of these, and we're going to have to turn them into chests. So let's just get a couple stacks of that, or rather one stack. Then we get a couple stacks of this, and then we should just be able to craft a bunch. And of course they will fall on the floor because I do not have enough inventory space, but that is alright as long as it doesn't fall down too far. Anyway, now this is going to be my life for the next few minutes, but hopefully it will get completely filled up. And indeed it did. We had enough shulkers to completely fill both sides of the system and have a little bit extra, as well as a few more stacks inside of the shulker boxes here. But you might be wondering why I am currently not inside my body, and that is because I'm on my second account. As you can see, there are two people here, but that is because with my main account, I'm going to head over to the slime farm, and I want to see how the storage system runs, or rather show you. I know how it runs because I built it, but I want to show you how it works while the farm is running. Also, I should probably light this portal, otherwise it will not work. Okay, so as you may be able to tell by the extremely loud squishing sounds and all these slimes falling, the slime farm is now active. And the way it works, as you can see, is the slimes will fall here on top of the end rod, so the big ones can't fall through, only the medium and the small ones. And the big ones will die of entity cramming, forcing their size down. Then the smaller sizes will fall down here, where most of them will die on these magma blocks. If not, some of them will fall on these magma blocks, either dying or just simply dying of fall damage. And then some of them will make their way down here, sometimes survive, rarely though. And then their drops will be thrown onto these stairs, where they will then go on top of these hoppers, eventually be picked up. Some of them might be a bit full, so they'll be picked up by later ones. And we have a big square here, so it'll just keep making its way around until it is picked up. But then what happens is they will make their way down into these auto crafters here. As you can see, it will be crafted. And now currently it is filling up the item sorter. But once that is done, it will start feeding its way into the shulker box loaders. And now all we got to do is wait. So maybe after 10 minutes, we'll see how many slime blocks we get. So currently we have 0 in the shulker boxes. And then we will see, I don't know, maybe a couple stacks. Maybe a whole shulker box. Let's see. I don't know the rates on this yet. Alright, here we go. We are back approximately 10 minutes later. And let's take a look at how much we got. So I'm just going to take a quick check to make sure it's not backing up. But wow, that is a lot for just 10 minutes. And you got to keep in mind, those are slime blocks. So just 3 of these would be a complete shulker of slime balls. So that's a lot. That is a lot. And that is only one shulker there. And we have another pretty much equally. This one probably not as much. Yeah, this one doesn't have anything. Probably the item filter is not even full. Yeah, this one doesn't really get that much use out of it. And it will mainly be these last few anyway. But yeah, the rest of these should be perfectly fine. So this one should be taking in a few. This one as well. Then this one here as well. And this one here as well. So these last two not getting as much use, but they are still necessary in order to not lose any items basically. And as we can see, there is a bit of a problem with zombie pigmen. I have tried to figure out something to do with them. Maybe I can put some wither roses or something, but I don't know how that would work because of the shifting floor. But maybe if I shift them over here and put the wither roses in this spot, that should be fine. Anyway, I'll figure out something to do with those pigmen here. But other than that, this farm is done and it is working. So, this has been one hell of an episode, guys. We have built the shulker farm over here. Well, at least the nether side's over here. But yeah, the shulker farm. And then we have gotten the shulker to the overworld, which took me a bit of time. And then also filled up the storage for here and kick-started the slime farm. And I'll be AFKing here quite a bit and get some shulkers full of slime blocks, just so we have a backlog. And also we're going to be doing a project with those in the near future, but that is for a future episode. So I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. But until next time, later guys.